A Hat in Time, the ambitious, goofy, wacky, silly, and all-around wholesome game created by the indie team Gears for Breakfast. Inspired off of classic platformers, the game was in development for 5 years, and from the team's blood, sweat, and tears, A Hat in Time became the masterpiece it is today. Well, flawed masterpiece. Not everything is perfect, and this game does have its flaws. There are several of them, but the biggest flaw of all, and the one I'm focusing on, is the ending. Oh, right, spoilers. Anyway, being a platformer, A Hat in Time doesn't have a deep lore, and instead has a simple story. This alien humanoid kid is traveling in space, going home, when she runs into trouble with the frickin' Mafia. And yes, this bozo is apparently part of the Mafia. The goon sees the spaceship as it's flying and teleports to the ship, asking Hat Kid, "Yeah, you need to pay to pass here." Hat Kid declines to pay, but the Mafia punches the glass and whoosh, all her fuel gets sucked into space, onto a planet, while Hat Kid is upset about all of this. So you land in Mafia Town, meet Mustache Girl, befriend her, she leaves you, you go on a bunch of other adventures, then you don't see her until the final level. She's angry at you, you just want to go home, and she goes all anime on you until you beat her. Then, the cutscene begins after you claim all your timepieces back. So, this final cutscene, it was built up in a way where you expected some sort of big ending. The past interactions with other characters, with Mustache Girl, and the music playing during the scene set it up. The game also gave you a story-related choice. Give an hourglass to Mustache Girl, sacrificing your fuel so that you may not be able to go home, or keep the hourglass and leave her and everyone. This was a big choice. On one hand, you knew that Mustache Girl's intentions were good, but she got too wrapped up about it and abused her powers. On the other hand, you knew about the danger of the hourglasses because several characters try to keep it from themselves when they figure out that they could rewind time. However, the choices didn't matter. Whether you gave the hourglass to Mustache Girl or not, the ending is exactly the same. The game even tricks you for a bit, because Hat Kid's spaceship stops suddenly, and you probably thought that the spaceship had a malfunction, but instead it was just a cast of characters stopping you. This was disappointing to me. All the build-up and the seemingly difficult choice for an ending that is anticlimactic and the same for everyone. I dislike it when games present you a choice that seems to make your experience different from others, but in the end the outcomes are the same. And we all know what other games are guilty of doing this too. Telltale. I totally understand that making a bunch of branching paths in a game is expensive. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, but at least don't include the choice at all or build upon the choice. It takes away the immersion of choosing your own adventure, because your playthroughs will be the same as other players for the most part. But this is an indie game, so I can kind of forgive Gears for Breakfast for not giving a super elaborate story with a satisfying ending. I can, however, give some suggestions to improve the ending. As stated before, they could have just not give you a choice and make the ending linear, so Gears for Breakfast won't have to exhaust themselves with the complex story. A more elaborate way to make the ending better would be to have different outcomes, give context to Hat Kid's origins, and further develop Hat Kid and Mustache Girl's relationship. The relationships with other characters were well developed, while Hat Kid's relationship with Mustache Girl isn't developed a lot. You meet her for a bit, and she just goes by, and there are no more interactions between Hat Kid and Mustache Girl until the final level. The main antagonist of A Hat in Time is supposed to be Mustache Girl, yet she's one of the most underdeveloped characters in the entire game. There wasn't a true rivalry connection felt through the dialogue, especially in the final level. You barely even talk to her, let alone know much about her other than her wanting to stop crime. Hat Kid's origins weren't developed, which also made the choice not that heavy. It was only shown briefly that Hat Kid was trying to get home from some sort of explosion, and that's about it. No info on what happened before running to the Mafia, about the explosion, her home, her family, none of that. So we didn't really know anything about what Hat Kid was trying to accomplish. All we knew that she was trying to get her hourglasses back. If we knew about her origins, that would give the choice to give Mustache Girl an hourglass a lot of depth. If we give the hourglass to Mustache Girl, She'll be happy that you gave her another chance, but the planet will be upset about Mustache Girl getting the hourglass, not to mention she'll probably abuse it, and the whole planet will be sad about you leaving. On the other hand, keeping the hourglass to yourself would leave Mustache Girl bitter. The planet probably would jail her for what she's done. The planet would also be happy that the Hackett stays, but Hackett will be sad because she didn't get to go home. You'd have to consider a lot of perspectives and actually think carefully about the choice. If Gears for Breakfast developed the story and relationships a bit more, it could make a better ending. If they did this, they would do something that not many games do, giving player choices a meaningful outcome. Players would be satisfied that the decision had an actual impact on the story. It'd be a great way to cap off this solid indie game. So, what do you guys think of the ending? Did you enjoy it or not? Leave a comment telling me what you think. A special thanks to my friends From Flipping Man and Amateur Butt for helping me review the script. And thank you all for watching this video. Take care.